The passage of time is perhaps the most ruthless and unrelenting force in the universe, a silent stream that reshapes everything in its path, from the grandest mountains to the most enduring legends of the silver screen. We often look at the icons of popular culture as if they are frozen in a specific moment, captured forever in high definition, untouched by the reality that affects us all. They exist in our minds as they appeared during their peak, vibrant, energetic, and seemingly immortal, embodying the heroes and villains who shaped our collective imagination. But beyond the bright lights of the movie set and the carefully crafted image of stardom, there is a human reality that is far more profound and often deeply moving. Have you ever paused while watching a classic piece of cinema and wondered about the actual person behind that unforgettable character? Have you ever thought about where the road of life has taken them, decades after the cameras stopped rolling and the applause faded into history? It is a fascinating and emotional exercise to bridge the gap between the black and white nostalgia of the past and the vivid reality of the present day, tracing the long and often surprising journeys of those who once captivated the world. The faces that once defined an era that set the standards for beauty, style, and charisma have all been touched by the years, maturing into new chapters that are rarely seen by the public eye. In this distinctive presentation, we invite you to embark on a sweeping nostalgic journey through time itself, traveling back through the defining decades of cinematic history to rediscover the legendary figures who helped shape it. We are preparing to draw back the curtain and reveal the incredible transformations of these timeless stars, contrasting the iconic images of their youth with who they are today. This is not merely a look at aging, but a celebration of enduring legacies and the remarkable human stories that continue long after the credits have rolled on their most famous roles. The transformation is, in every single case, absolutely breathtaking, and the stories we are about to share are filled with both triumph and the quiet dignity of time passing. We will explore how these icons have navigated the decades, some remaining in the spotlight while others found peace in retirement, but all leaving an indelible mark on the world. Get ready for an emotional, powerful sequence of revelations, because who these legends have become might surprise you more than any plot twist they ever delivered on screen. The cinematic world of The Secret Agent is one built on a foundation of timeless elegance, high-stakes danger, and an almost supernatural ability to remain cool under pressure. At the very heart of this cultural phenomenon stands the figure of James Bond, a character who has been inhabited by a select few men, each bringing their own distinct soul and style to the role of 007. To understand the transformations of these legends, we must first look back at the man who started it all. The original cinematic spy who defined the archetype for every successor to follow. Sean Connery was more than just an actor. He was a force of nature, possessing a rugged charm and a raw, sophisticated intensity that felt entirely new to the audiences of the early 1960s. When he first appeared in No, he established a gold standard that remains the benchmark of excellence even today. Connery moved through the world of espionage with a panther-like grace, his Scottish burr and piercing gaze making him the ultimate alpha male of the silver screen. As the decades marched on, the world watched as the dark-haired champion of the franchise matured into a respected elder statesman of the industry, eventually stepping away from the limelight to enjoy the fruits of a monumental career. Although the legendary Scotsman passed away in 2020 at the age of 90, his presence is still felt in every frame of film he touched. His transformation from the young, hungry actor to the white-bearded icon was a masterclass in aging with power. Leaving behind a legacy that is truly irreplaceable in the annals of global pop culture, following in the footsteps of a legend like Connery was a task many thought impossible, yet the history of the franchise is filled with surprising turns. Consider the story of George Lazenby, the man who stepped into those famous shoes for just a single, unforgettable outing in Her Majesty's Secret Service. Lazenby was an Australian model with no prior acting experience, a choice that shocked the industry at the time. Yet, he delivered a portrayal that was uniquely vulnerable and romantic, giving Bond a human heart that had rarely been seen before. His time in the tuxedo was brief, but his impact was lasting, as fans still debate the merits of his singular performance with great passion. Today, at 86 years old, Lazenby has transitioned into a quiet and reflective chapter of his life. Having officially retired from acting and public appearances, he now enjoys a peaceful existence, far removed from the frantic energy of movie sets. He remains a fascinating figure, a man who touched the sun for a brief moment and then chose a different path, cherishing his unique place in the history of 007 as a quiet reminder of what it means to be a part of such a storied lineage. The evolution of the character took a lighter, perhaps more whimsical turn with the arrival of Roger Moore. He didn't just play the role, he redefined it, infusing the world of international intrigue with his signature wit, an arched eyebrow, and a light-hearted humor that made the dangerous world of spying feel like a grand adventure. Moore's tenure was the longest of any actor, spanning 7 official films and nearly 15 years, cementing him as the Bond of an entire generation. He was the quintessential English gentleman, both on and off the screen. As he grew older, he channeled his immense fame into a noble second act, becoming a dedicated humanitarian worker with UNICEF. When the world bid him farewell in 2017 at the age of 89, it wasn't just an actor who was lost, but a man of great character whose legacy lives on through his philanthropic efforts as much as his cinematic triumphs. His journey reminds us that the man behind the tuxedo can be just as heroic as the character himself, using his platform to make a tangible difference in the lives of others long after the gadgets have been returned to the lab. As the 1980s arrived, the franchise sought a return to its roots, finding a new kind of intensity in Timothy Dalton. He brought a gritty, serious, and deeply realistic edge to the role, stripping away the humor to find the cold-blooded professional described in the original Ian Fleming novels. Dalton's performance was ahead of its time, paving the way for the modern, darker interpretations of the spy that would follow decades later. Today, at 80 years old, Dalton remains a distinguished and highly active force in the acting world. Far from slowing down, he has recently earned widespread acclaim for his roles in popular series like 1923 and Doom Patrol. He has shown the world that talent does not have a shelf life, transitioning from the sharp-edged spy of the 80s to a versatile character actor who can command the screen in any era. His presence today is a testament to the enduring power of a focused and dedicated craft, proving that the fire that made him a formidable agent still burns brightly in his later years. The 1990s saw the franchise revitalized once again, this time by the arrival of Pierce Brosnan. He seemed born for the role, perfectly blending the coolness of Connery with the sophisticated elegance of Moore. His debut in GoldenEye was a massive global success, proving that James Bond was still relevant in a rapidly changing world. Brosnan's era was one of high-tech spectacle and polished style, and he carried the weight of the franchise with effortless grace. Now 72, the Irish actor continues to thrive in Hollywood, appearing in various blockbusters while also pursuing his deep-seated passion for painting. He has aged into a remarkably stylish and beloved figure, a man who seems to have discovered the secret to maintaining his charisma while embracing the passing of the years. Whether he is on a film set or in his art studio, Brosnan remains a symbol of the enduring appeal of the 007 universe. A bridge between the classic eras of the past and the fast-paced energy of the modern world. The most recent chapter of this epic lineage was written by Daniel Craig, who transformed the secret agent into a modern, rugged, and emotionally complex hero for the 21st century. Craig's Bond was a man who bled, who felt pain, and who grappled with the consequences of his actions. His 15-year journey was a breathtaking arc that concluded spectacularly with No Time to Die in 2021. At 58 years old, Craig has successfully moved beyond the tuxedo, reinventing himself as the quirky and brilliant Detective Benoit Blanc in the hit Knives Out franchise. He is celebrated not just for his physical prowess, but for bringing a powerful human vulnerability to a legendary icon. As we look at these men today, we see a tapestry of different lives and different paths, all connected by a single extraordinary role. But the world of 007 was never just about the man in the suit. It was also about the incredible women who stood alongside him, against him, and often ahead of him. The stories of these women are just as compelling, filled with their own remarkable transformations and enduring legacies that have spanned the same decades of cinematic history. As we move deeper into this exploration, we begin to see how the faces of these legendary leading ladies have also changed, reflecting the passage of time with a grace and strength that is truly inspiring. The true essence of the James Bond phenomenon has never rested solely on the shoulders of the man carrying the license to kill, rather. It has been defined by the breathtaking and formidable women who navigated that world of shadows and neon alongside him. The term Bond girl has evolved from a simple casting label into a cultural milestone, representing the changing standards of beauty, power, and independence across more than 6 decades of cinematic history. To witness the transformation of these leading ladies is to see the history of the 20th and 21st centuries reflected in their eyes. We begin this deeper exploration with the fiery presence of Luciana Paluzzi, who delivered a performance that shattered the mold of the traditional love interest in the 1965 classic Thunderball. As the dangerous assassin Fiona Volpe, she was a revelation, proving that a woman in the 07 universe could be just as lethal, if not more so, than the protagonist himself. Her striking red hair and fearless demeanor made her the first true powerhouse villain of the series, a woman who didn't just want Bond, but wanted to defeat him. Today, at 88 years old, the Italian actress looks back on a career that spanned international borders, living a peaceful life that stands in quiet contrast to the high-speed chases and explosions of her youth. Her legacy remains a vibrant thread in the fabric of the 60s, a reminder of when the franchise first discovered that its female characters could be truly formidable. This trend of intense, dramatic presence continued with the unforgettable Karen Dor, who portrayed the Spectre agent Helga Brandt in You Only Live Twice. A star of German cinema, she brought a unique European sophistication to the screen, standing toe-to-toe with Sean Connery in a performance defined by its tension and striking beauty. Though she passed away in 2017 at the age of 79, her contribution to the legacy of the Bond girl remains immovable. She represented an era where the stakes were rising, and the women involved were no longer just background figures, but essential moving parts in a global game of chess. In stark contrast to the villains were the romantic leads who brought a sense of grace and humanity to the cold world of espionage. Daniela Bianchi, starring as the Soviet corporal Tatiana Romanova in From Russia with Love, became the definitive romantic lead of the early golden era. Her chemistry with Connery was palpable, and her elegant, understated performance made her an instant favorite. Now 84, Bianchi has long since stepped away from the flickering lights of the studio, choosing a life of privacy and retirement in her native Italy. She remains a symbol of a more classical era of filmmaking, where a single look could convey more than a page of dialogue. Perhaps no single image in the history of cinema is as haunting or as iconic as that of Shirley Eaton in Goldfinger. Her brief but legendary role as Jill Masterson culminated in the visual of her character, covered entirely in gold paint, a moment that became the ultimate symbol of the franchise's opulence and danger. That single scene immortalized her in the hearts of millions, making her a global sensation overnight. Now 89 years old, Eaton has spent the majority of her life away from the cameras, having retired early to focus on her family and a quieter existence. Yet, time has not dimmed the impact of her contribution. She remains the ultimate golden girl, a living testament to the power of a perfectly executed cinematic moment. As the series moved into the 70s, the roles began to reflect the shifting cultural landscape of the United States. Jill St. John made history as the first actress to take on a leading Bond girl role, playing the witty and glamorous diamond smuggler Tiffany Case in Diamonds Are Forever. She brought a new, colourful energy to the screen, a playful spark that matched the evolving tone of the Roger Moore years. At 85, she continues to enjoy a life of elegance alongside her husband, actor Robert Wagner, proving that the glamour of the Hollywood era she helped define is something that can be carried with grace throughout a lifetime. The transition into the late 80s brought a more delicate, yet intellectually sharp presence to the screen in the form of Mariam Darbo. As the talented cellist Cara Milovi in The Living Daylights, she provided the perfect counterpoint to Timothy Dalton's gritty realism. Her portrayal was one of gentle, classical elegance, grounded in a sense of real-world vulnerability. Today, at 65, she has become a guardian of the franchise's history, producing documentaries that explore the legacy of the women of Bond, while continuing her own work in the industry. Her journey shows a remarkable evolution, from a breakout star to a respected creative voice who understands the weight of the history she helped create. Similarly, the mid-60s were defined by the presence of Claudine Auger, the former Miss France, who played Domino Duval in Thunderball. She brought an incredible, poised intensity to the underwater adventures of 007, leaving a legacy of beauty and sophistication that ended with her passing in 2019 at the age of 78. These women were the architects of a specific kind of cinematic magic, one that relied on more than just looks, but on a presence that could command the attention of a global audience. As we look at the legendary Maud Adams, we see a woman who made history by playing two distinct leading roles, most notably the title character in Octopussy. Her sophisticated, mature beauty redefined what a leading lady could be during the Roger Moore era, offering a portrayal of a woman with her own empire and her own agency. Now 81, the Swedish icon remains a celebrated figure of professional acting talent, her double contribution to the series standing as a unique and remarkable feat. This shift toward more capable, independent characters was further solidified by Lois Chiles, who played the intelligent CIA agent and astronaut Holly Goodhead in Moonraker. She was Bond's intellectual equal, a character who proved that a woman could navigate the stars as easily as she could navigate the world of international spies. Currently 79, Chiles has transitioned into a successful second career as an artist and painter, a transformation that mirrors the creative depth she brought to her most famous role. Even further back, the legendary Honor Blackman had already set the stage as Pussy Galore in Goldfinger, a character who was arguably the first to be truly Bond's equal in skill and toughness. Though she passed away in 2020 at the incredible age of 94, her legacy as a daring and influential figure in cinema remains untouched. A beacon of independence for every actress who followed in her footsteps, the story of the Bond girl is also one of international grace, as seen in the career of Carol Bouquet. Her portrayal of Melina Havelock in For Your Eyes only brought a sense of French elegance and a narrative of cold, calculated vengeance that was rare for the series at the time. Now 68, she remains a powerhouse in both the film and fashion worlds, a face for luxury brands and a symbol of timeless European grace. But perhaps no transformation is as striking as that of Michelle Yeoh. When she appeared in Tomorrow Never Dies, she wasn't just a partner, she was a martial arts expert who challenged the very idea of a woman in distress. Today, at 63, she is a reigning Academy Award winner and one of the most influential performers in the world. Her journey from a Bond film to the pinnacle of Hollywood success, serving as an inspiration to millions. These transformations, from the groundbreaking roles of Gloria Hendry as the first African-American Bond girl to the mystical elegance of Jane Seymour Solitaire, all tell the same story. A story of women who took a legendary platform and used it to build enduring, multifaceted lives. As we see them today, whether they are still commanding the screen or enjoying a hard-earned retirement, we are reminded that their beauty was only the beginning of their incredible impact on the world of film. To truly grasp the magnitude of this cinematic journey, one must look toward the absolute origin of the phenomenon, where the standard for every subsequent star was first set in stone. Ursula Andress created an unforgettable cinematic moment that remains etched in the collective memory of global audiences as the very first woman to define the modern spy era in Dr. No. Her stunning emergence from the sea established a legendary beauty standard that would go on to influence decades of fashion and film. Today, at the remarkable age of 90, the Swiss star remains a timeless icon of international cinema and grace, her legacy serving as the original blueprint for everything that followed. Following in that wake of international stardom was Britt Ekland, whose Swedish beauty and vibrant personality made her a massive global figure during the mid-70s. In The Man with the Golden Gun, she brought a sense of charm and lightheartedness to the screen that endeared her to millions. Now 83 years old, she has transitioned into a popular figure on British television, sharing her stories with a new generation while remaining a dedicated mother, proving that the sparkle she brought to the screen has never truly faded. Then there is the incomparable Grace Jones, who delivered one of the most rebellious and fierce performances, in the history of the franchise as Mayday. Her striking style and androgynous energy made her a formidable presence that pushed the boundaries of what a movie character could be. At 77, she maintains that same bold and eccentric spirit as a global fashion and music icon, a living testament to the power of artistic independence and raw, unyielding energy. The transition from these early icons to the powerhouses of the modern era reveals a fascinating trajectory of talent and influence. Halle Berry brought immense charisma and Academy Award-winning talent to the role of Jinx, creating a famous tribute to the series' roots that solidified her place in cinematic history. Currently 59, she continues to dominate the screen with her athletic physique and brilliant acting skills, standing as a trailblazing figure who added significant star power to the legendary series. Similarly, Famke Janssen used her role as the dangerous Xenia Onatopp in GoldenEye as a launching pad for a massive Hollywood career, eventually becoming globally recognized for her portrayal of Jean Grey in the X-Men franchise. At 61, she thrives as a highly versatile actress across many genres, showcasing the incredible range that first caught the world's attention. This level of sophistication is matched by Sophie Marceau, the beloved French Rose, who delivered a deeply complex performance in The World Is Not Enough. Now 59, she remains a timeless global symbol of elegance, frequently appearing at major international film festivals and continuing to be celebrated for her exceptional contribution to the history of the spy genre. Even the younger generation of stars, like Rosamund Pike, found their footing in this world. Her early role as Miranda Frost served as a perfect stepping stone toward becoming a highly respected Hollywood A-list superstar. Currently 47, her award-winning range continues to captivate modern audiences, proving that the legacy of these roles is often just the beginning of a much larger story beyond the leading roles. The world of 07 and its surrounding legends is populated by figures who brought a unique depth to the screen. Barbara Bach captivated global audiences with her performance as the stunning Soviet agent Anya Amasova, and today, at 78, she remains famous worldwide not only for her acting, but as the devoted wife of legendary Beatles drummer Ringo Starr. The franchise also saw the talent of Caroline Bliss, who brought a fresh and clever energy to the role of Miss Moneypenny before stepping away for a private life. At 64, she remains a cherished part of history, remembered for her grace. We also remember the men who shaped this world, like Joe Don Baker, the rugged character actor who played both a formidable villain and a loyal ally across different eras. Though he passed away at 89, he remains a beloved cult icon of the Hollywood film industry. And of course, no discussion of this legacy is complete without the ingenious gadget Master Q, played for decades by the beloved Desmond Llewellyn. Appearing in more films than any other actor, his charming and witty performances defined the technical heart of the series until his passing at 85. Leaving behind an unparalleled legacy that fans will always treasure. The history of these icons is also a story of groundbreaking transitions and the breaking of barriers. Vanessa Williams made history as the first black woman to be crowned Miss America, and despite early setbacks, she transformed into a powerhouse of music and television. Now 63, her evolution remains an enduring Hollywood legend. Jane Kennedy similarly broke barriers in broadcasting and film, moving from beauty pageants to becoming the first black woman to host a national network sports show. At 74, her journey continues to resonate as an inspiring and iconic transformation. These paths were paved by legends like Lena Horne, the breathtaking trailblazer of the 40s and 50s, and Eartha Kitt, the mesmerizing international star known for her fierce presence as Catwoman. Both women, who lived to 92 and 81 respectively, remain powerful symbols of grace, excellence, and artistic independence. We also honor Dorothy Dandridge, the first African-American woman nominated for a Best Actress Oscar, whose groundbreaking career ended far too soon at age 42, and Hattie McDaniel, the first African-American to win an Academy Award, whose perseverance changed the course of cinematic history. Their stories are woven into the very fabric of the industry, reminding us of the courage required to become a legend. As we look at the stars who are still active today, the sense of reinvention is truly palpable. Charles Dance, once a dashing romantic lead, has evolved into one of Hollywood's most intimidating and iconic antagonists. Now 79, his aristocratic bearing continues to command the screen in massive global productions. Bob Odenkirk's transformation from a comedy writer into a gritty action star and dramatic powerhouse is one of the most impressive turnarounds in recent history, keeping him at the forefront of the industry at age 63. Even the stars of the 80s like John Schneider and Tom Wopat of the Dukes of Hazzard have found diverse new paths. Schneider remains a prolific figure in country music and independent film at 64, while Wopat has transitioned into a Tony-nominated Broadway performer and jazz musician at 74. John Rhys Davies, famous for his roles in Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings, continues to use his booming voice and powerful presence to solidify his reputation as a beloved character actor at 81. These actors show us that a career in the spotlight is not a single act, but a series of evolutions that keep their legends alive across multiple generations. In this current year of 2026, these transformations are more visible than ever, as many of these icons can continue to engage with the world in surprising ways. Bruce Dern, now 89, is still leading new projects, including the recently released film The World's Happiest Man. Walter Koenig, also 89, remains a fixture on the fan circuit, with a full schedule of major convention appearances like MegaCon Orlando throughout 2026. Jonathan Frakes has successfully aged into a modern creative powerhouse, currently directing episodes of Star Trek Starfleet Academy at 73. Billy D. Williams, the embodiment of smooth cool, is still booked for major events in 2026, remaining a living icon wherever star power meets nostalgia. LeVar Burton continues to connect with audiences as the host of Trivial Pursuit, with new episodes airing in early 2026. Even the grand dames of the screen are staying present. Constance Towers, at 92, still appears for fans at major events in Los Angeles. And Ruda Lee recently brought her iconic showbiz energy to a guest judging role on RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars at the age of 90. Anita Gillette, at 89, is still celebrating live performance, booked as a special guest for vocal competitions in 2026. These stories of endurance and reinvention show that while the roles may change and the years may pass, the fire of a true legend never truly goes out. As we reach the final chapter of this expansive journey through cinematic history, it becomes clear that the legacy of these stars is not just found in the flickering light of old film reels, but in the enduring strength of their ongoing careers and the grace with which they have navigated the decades. The bridge between the prestigious world of British period drama and the high-octane universe of international espionage is much shorter than one might think, as many of the performers who added depth to the spy genre began their journeys in the most demanding theatres and television productions of their time. Consider the remarkable Geraldine James, who first rose to international prominence with her powerful and commanding performance in The Jewel in the Crown. She was a revelation, possessing a screen presence that felt both grounded and ethereal, a quality that she has carried throughout her long and storied career. Today, at 75 years old, her transformation from a breakout television star to one of Britain's most respected and versatile actresses is a testament to her unwavering talent. Whether appearing in the cinematic world of Sherlock Holmes or the heartfelt narrative of Anne with an E, she remains a deeply influential presence in global cinema, proving that a true artist never stops evolving. This same sense of enduring talent is vividly embodied by Judy Parfett, woman whose name became synonymous with sophisticated and sharp roles in prestigious British dramas. For decades, she was the standard of aristocratic poise, but in a surprising and delightful turn, she won the hearts of a completely new generation of modern audiences as the eccentric and beloved Sister Monica Joan in Call the Midwife. Now 90 years old, her transformation into a television icon in her later years is one of the most heartwarming stories in the industry, serving as a true testament to her multifaceted talent and her relentless artistic passion. She reminds us that the third act of a life can often be the most rewarding and impactful, bringing a sense of wisdom and humor that only time can provide. Alongside her, we find the striking presence of Art Malik, who also rose to international prominence in the 1980s through the same prestigious dramatic circles. Malik showcased an incredible range, moving seamlessly from the complex characters of period pieces to major Hollywood blockbusters and prestigious stage plays. Now 73, he continues to be a highly respected figure in both British television and global cinematic productions. Admired for a talent that has only deepened with the passing of the years, the world of 007 often required villains who were more than just caricatures, requiring actors who could bring a sense of intellectual depth and cultural complexity to the screen. Jeroen Krabbe remains one of the most prominent international actors to have stepped into this role, most notably as the complex General Georgy Koskov. His journey is perhaps one of the most fascinating of all, as he has managed to move effortlessly between the high-pressure world of professional acting and the quiet, introspective world of fine art. Now 81, Krabbe is not only remembered for his cinematic contributions, but is also a celebrated painter, proving that the creative spirit can find expression in many different forms across a lifetime. This ability to reinvent oneself is a common thread among these legends, as seen in the career of Miriam Darboe. While the world first fell in love with her as the elegant and talented cellist Kara Milovi in the late 1980s, she has since transitioned into a respected documentary filmmaker. Now 64, she uses her unique perspective to share the stories of the cinematic history she helped create, continuing to share her artistic vision while remaining a cherished figure for fans of the late 80s period. The steady and successful paths of these performers often reflect a deep respect for the craft, as seen in the career of Susan Wooldridge. After capturing hearts with her award-winning portrayal of Daphne Manners, she maintained a consistent presence across British television and independent cinema for decades. Now 75, her graceful evolution has made her a cornerstone of high-quality period drama, a respected figure whose work continues to resonate with those who appreciate the nuances of a well-told story. And while many of our stars found their home in drama, the world of entertainment saw one of its most radical, physical and professional transformations in the person of Howie Mandel. He first gained fame in the 1980s as a curly-haired dramatic actor in Saint Elsewhere, a stark contrast to the energetic, bold persona he would later adopt as the host of Deal or No Deal. Now 70, his ability to stay relevant across multiple decades as a staple of global television is a masterclass in professional reinvention, showing that even the most established image can be completely transformed to meet a new era as we look back at this incredible tapestry of lives. From the rugged charm of the first 07 to the fierce independence of the modern martial arts masters, we are reminded that these actors have given us more than just entertainment. They have provided a mirror to our own changing world, evolving alongside us and showing us the beauty that can be found in every stage of life. From the iconic images of their youth to the dignified and powerful figures they have become today, their journeys are a celebration of human resilience and the enduring power of the cinematic arts. Whether they are still commanding the center of the frame in 2026 or enjoying the quiet peace of a private retirement, their legacy is secure, woven into the very heart of movie history. That concludes our look at these legendary James Bond stars. From iconic Bond girls to unforgettable villains, these actors defined a cinematic legacy that will never be forgotten. Which one of these incredible transformations is your absolute favorite? Who was the star that defined your favorite era of The Secret Agent? Let us know in the comments below, as we love hearing your thoughts on these timeless icons. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Golden Flame Stars for more deep dives into the hidden stories of movie history. Thanks for watching this emotional journey through time, and we will see you in the next mission. Python print generating news banner. Resultat Vypolnania coder generating news banner. Python print generating final news banner for Golden Flame Stars. Resultat Vypolnania coder generating final news banner for Golden Flame Stars. Python, no code needed for image generation call, just use the tool. Resultat Vypolnania coder code executed successfully. Python proceeding to image generation with Nano Banana 2. Prompt, a high-quality news banner for a YouTube video titled Golden Flame